I don't really like isekai shows. In fact, I barely watch many isekai shows to the point where I don't even bother reading some of the show's synopses because nowadays I feel like isekai has been the genre that gets the exploitation so much to the point where some people turns a blind eye to it. Frankly, few shows are standing up to amaze me. Hey people of the earth, today I'll be ranting about Mushoku Tensei again because I just can't stop expressing my love and appreciation for the show on the last video, so I figured I'll cover them here and now. Also, be aware this video might contain spoilers of the franchise and it's purely how I feel about the show, so your opinion may be different and that's fine. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below if you may, that would be a fun discussion. Without further ado, let's go right into it. Mushoku Tensei, or Jobless Reincarnation, is a sort of autobiography telling a journey of Rudeus, a former 34-year-old NEET who dies from a truck runover. Sounds cliche. Being reborn into a fantasy world with his memories intact yet different surroundings. Now you probably wonder, it's just another freaking isekai where the main guy dies, gets transported and gets a bunch of harems. Mushoku Tensei is far above most isekai and I swear to god, it's just impossible for me to nitpick anything out of it, at least for now. As we all know, Mushoku Tensei has gotten so many good things and possibly some misjudging because of the protagonist's personality being a nerdy pervert. But putting that aside, like I said, there's seriously nothing wrong about the show as a whole. When I call a show good, perfect or a masterpiece, it's common sense to look behind the scene and see what's with the production. Of course, the studio behind it is a major factor on this matter. Studio Bind is basically a studio made just for Mushoku Tensei, consisting of some well-known people in the industries. The latter proved to be giving tremendous quality, putting every single love they have into the production of this anime, making Mushoku Tensei is just perfect as a fantasy show that there isn't really a single thing we can nitpick out of it. Another thing I should mention is that I'm amazed at how well they handle character development in it, and that is Aries. Aries was a tsundere who, smacks everybody for the cheesiest reason one can think of. She was also a sore loser who seems to be barely admitting any of her mistakes wholeheartedly. I should probably give props to Rudy for being able to hold on interacting with her back then, even though I'm probably aware why. As the show goes on, Aries has been turning into a likable character every episode, and in fact, she has the greatest character development in season 1. After getting transported into the demon continent along with Rudy via teleport incident, Aries had no choice but to leave her comfort zone and as a prestigious child of the aristocrat to survive the situation. Roger taught and trained her how to fight well and she learned some basic knowledge such as trading and stuff during their adventure. Though still having her immature / tsundere side, she has become a person who treasures her comrades and is willing to protect them at any cost, to the point where she even cried in despair knowing she couldn't do anything to help Rudy against Ostrud, the dragon god, despite him already dying because of the heart stab. As of now, I still think Aries, if not, is the best girl on the show for this season. Seeing her resolve to dump Rudy after that night is impressive for me, considering how different she is by now, to take the risk and to be making such a decision. Also, not gonna lie, I really like her look with that short hair. Anyway, we viewers can see that this journey she has decided to take is a validation of her entire development on this season, and that's just appealing writing of a character development one can get as a viewer, at least to me. As an isekai and fantasy show, Mushoku Tensei's world building is breathtaking. To know that there is such a fast setting development in an isekai anime nowadays makes me can't believe what I'm watching. As perfect as Mushoku Tensei may have been, some people strip the show regarding the personality Rudy as the protagonists have, which isn't valid to me if you're going to just smack the entire show because of that. Sure, being what he was before he died once is a shame. While people are getting the wrong perception that the show promotes incest or pedophilia and the controversy on Rudy as a character, remember that as a viewer we are not supposed to like his personality, at least not before his character developed. The show is there because he could and wants to change, not because he has changed into an overpowered hero guy that the show exists in the first place. Rudy was a total disgrace, having no achievement during his life caused by her background trauma that kept haunting him to the point where he locked himself for years inside his room. And yes, we don't like how the protagonist is a scum, and that's exactly why this show exists as an isekai in the first place, because he has been given the chance to change. To him, it's a chance because now he has what he didn't before, and that is the support people give to him. Yes, the family, Roxy, Sylvie are positively responsible for his growth as a character. Mushoku Tensei is an isekai show that is fascinating, and being the progenitor of the isekai genre, it has whatever it needs to be an isekai. The show is just built differently than most power fantasy isekai shows nowadays, and I think it's because most stories nowadays are missing the core point of why they need to be an isekai, or why there is an isekai in the first place. I think you owe yourself a binge watch if you are sleeping on Mushoku Tensei just because this matter outshines everything else it has to offer on the plate. Overall, watching Mushoku Tensei as a non-isekai fan doesn't affect how much I like the show. Studio Bind is literally binding us with the show. It feels like we are bound to live within it rather than just watching a fantasy story, and that's why I enjoy watching Mushoku Tensei. That's all I want to rant about for now. I hope it clears that this anime should probably be on your watching list if you haven't seen it yet. It's Usarian. Till next time.